I've launched over 50 campaigns, worked with multiple brands, and spent countless hours creating email marketing campaigns for CPG and e-com brands. Here are the top 5 secrets I wish I knew when I first got started. The first secret I wish I knew when I first got started with email marketing is sending out valuetainment and edutainment based content. Now, just to give you perspective, valuetainment and edutainment stands for valuable entertainment, educational entertainment. Obviously, you could probably guess who coined that. But what I will say is some examples of educational and valuetainment based emails in your email marketing are like an us versus them type of email, right? Comparisons, tips and tricks about your emails, right? Top 5 ways to do X, Y, Z, right? 3 things you didn't know about the chocolate industry, right? Things like that make your brand seem more not only reliable, but it makes your emails come out in a way that people want to open them, right? If you keep sending promotional or discounts or very salesy based emails to your audience, over time your emails open rate, number one, it's going to drop. But then second of all, the more people actually open your emails, the more they're going to be like, you know what, this brand doesn't really care. They're only trying to sell me a promotion. And like, think about when's the last time you wanted to open an email that you know is going to be about a sale? Right? Unless it's like, something like you're really, really limited edition, right? But most of the times the emails that you do want to open come from educational stuff, right? The stuff that you actually want to see. 3 things you didn't know about scooters, right? How did the, chocolate industry start? What are, 3 things that go into making iPhones? Things like that are very valuetainment and edutainment based emails work very, very well. And I wish I knew that when I first got started. So again, lead with valuetainment and edutainment based emails 70 to 80% of the time. The second secret I wish I knew when I first started creating emails is do not make your emails on Klaviyo or whatever your ESP is, your email service provider. Now listen, this is a very big reason, and it's simply just because you're very limited on the things you can do on Klaviyo, for example, right? You have, Klaviyo, MailChimp, you have, a few different ESPs that you could use, email service providers. But the difficulty with those, especially the ones that are like very popular, is that you're very limited on the things you could do, right? Post, going on an actual based website that's meant for designs like Canva, like Figma, like Adobe, things like that, platforms like that, where you're allowed to create multiple different designs and have control of little things like, like the buttons and the color schemes and the designs, all that sort of thing. All those sorts of things make your email designs a lot easier. And then they also make the emails that you want to eventually put out. Like it's like, okay, I want this email to look like this. It looks like this in my head, and it never comes out like that when you make it on Klaviyo, or in my case, Klaviyo, and in multiple cases, you can do different ESPs. But when you design it on a place like Canva, I personally like Canva, Figma, Adobe, one of those platforms, it's 100 times easier, and also you also have a lot of control. So again, just create your emails, not on your ESP, but make them on your actual designing platform like Canva, Figma, or Adobe. By the way, if you ever get overwhelmed by all the stuff I'm saying in this YouTube channel and you feel like your brand wants some more personalized help, you can reach out to my brand. We help CPG and e-com brands scale their business using email marketing on a 100% commission basis. All information to reach out to our team is down in the description. Go check it out if you'd like. Anyways, back to the video. The third secret I wish I knew when I first got started with email marketing is go all in the brand. Listen, I think a lot of brands, when they first get started, they want to play it very, very safe, and they don't want to lean into the full brand. And what I mean leaning into your full brand is, looking at all your wording choices, look at your color, especially your websites or your Instagram, whatever your main source of traffic is. Go all in the words, the colors, the color schemes, the tone, the wordings, the phrases, pretty much everything that makes your brand, right? And the reason I say that is because not only does it help with consistency wise, it also helps with conversions. And I'll tell you why. If I see an email, right, that you send out to me, and it looks a certain way, and then when I go to your website, it's completely different than what I saw in the email, I'm almost gonna be like, is this even legit? And the reason why is because it's not consistent, right? When you have your email and you go full in on the brand, right? If your brand has characters, or if your brand has certain little inside jokes that you have, go all in those things, because at the end of the day, people want to be like, they want to feel like they're in a community, right? They want to feel like, okay, I'm actually part of something, right? And when you carry that out throughout your entire email campaigns, your email flows, your email designs, but more importantly through your website and other platforms outside of just email marketing, it's going to flow and transition very, very well. So if I could say anything for this one, is make sure you go all in your brand and don't shy away from it. Now, the fourth secret revolves around deliverability, and what it is start small and build your way up. Listen, nothing matters in email marketing unless your emails actually get sent out to the people you want them to be sent out to, right? And a big issue that I used to do was sending out to my entire list, right? I would have the first brand I ever worked with, they had a very small list, not very very small, but they had a list of about 2,000 people, which in general it's comparatively like small. They only had about 2,000 people at the time, and although we're starting to grow, and now we're far more than that. At the time, I thought like, okay, we have 2,000 people. I have to maximize every ounce of money I could pretty much get out of these people. And although I mean, eventually, yeah, you want to make sure that you could optimize your emails for the max amount of money they could get and deliver to them as many people as possible. The only issue with sending out to your whole list is not everybody's going to open it, number one. And number two, since not everybody's opening it, the vast majority of people that get your email, if you send it out to everybody, is going to, in the overall, impact your deliverability and make your domain like a lot worse when sending out emails. So one of the big things I would highly suggest is, instead of just sending out to your entire list and pretty much ruining your deliverability, what I would say is start off small, right? And which kind of the theme about this. When you're first sending emails, make sure you only send to a very small list, right? And what I mean by list is, like, if you have 2,000 people, create a segment on whatever your ESP is, if it's MailChimp, if it's Klaviyo, and then say like, okay, I'm going to segment my list into, 15-day engage, right? So say how many people in my list have engaged with my emails, whether that be open rates, click-through rates, actually place an order. You could, for simplicity's sake, you would probably just do open emails. But say, okay, how many people in the last 15 days have engaged or at least opened my emails, and only send out to those people. Then the next one is 30 days, and then the next one's 45, 60, 90, 120. At that point, 120, it's almost impossible to get everybody to open your emails. But every time you move on to the next list, make sure that you start off with 50% open rates. So when you first start off with 15-day segment, make sure you send emails only to that category, that segment, until you get your open rates up to 50%. And then obviously you move on to the next ones. What that does is improves your deliverability, and then the second thing, it doesn't even ruin it. So it's almost like a twofold, right? Obviously, you're not ruining your deliverability. You're sending your emails to people who are actually gonna, at the very least, gonna be interested in buying. So every time you move on to the next segment, more and more people are going to be able to open your emails, and they're not going to land on spam or the promotions tab. You're going to try to get them on your inbox. So fourth tip I'd say, or fourth secret I wish I knew when I first got started with email marketing, is don't set out to your full list. Start small, then build your way up. The fifth secret I wish I knew when I started email marketing, and it's by far the most important one, is learn about persuasion. Everything else comes after that, right? What I highly suggest for anybody that's starting their own agency or wants to become a freelancer or just starting their own brand is learn about persuasion, right? Learn about sales, learn about marketing, read books, watch videos. Great book by Robert Cialdini, Persuasion, right? Learn about what makes people buy. When you come in with your email designs in that way, you're going to have a lot easier time converting people to actually place an order, or at the very, very least, actually click through on the email that you're sending out and actually get on your landing page, right? Learn about persuasion, learn about marketing, learn about what makes people want to buy, and it's not even about like the colors or, what color does better, red or blue or green, black or white. Figure out what makes people buy. Is it reciprocity? Is it social proof? Is it, authority? Is it, consistency, commitment, things like that you learn throughout books and multiple different courses, and just think that you learn about persuasion in general. Apply that to your email marketing. This is like one of the first things I would ever do before even sending out one email, because it's going to give you a good foundation to start off with every single time you send an email. So those are the 5 secrets I wish I knew when I first started getting into email marketing. I hope these help you in every way possible. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Alexander Jimenez from ixmedia.biz. If you want to help your CPG or e-com brand scale their business using email marketing on 100% commission basis, check out the link in the description. All the information is there. Just book a call with my team. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Alexander Jimenez out. Peace.